Hello, I'm sitting in my car today. This is the first time I've tried to do a Periscope when I'm not close to my home. And so I thought I'd just do a few thoughts in my car. My wife, Gloria, is having something done to her feet with the what's it called? Anyway, podiatrist, yes. And I'm sitting in the car outside waiting for her. She may turn up even while I'm talking. Now, there's an interesting thing. My eyes are looking down all the time, and I'm looking at the screen. Yes. Anyway, I thought because the British Parliament is voting today on a private member's bill on assisted dying, I thought I'd share some of my thoughts. Basically, I have mixed feelings about this, but I've had to come down one way or the other, and I'll tell you which way that is in a moment. Firstly, I think everybody has the right to draw a line under their life and say, that's it, thank you very much, I'm leaving the room. You know, Elvis has left the building. I think that's the right, and if you love someone who is exercising that right, then surely you would help them to do that, even though you would be sad to see them go. I mean, when somebody dies, you're sad to see them go. But if, like me, you believe they're bound for glory, then in the end, you should be happy that they've gone to a better place. Because I'm a Christian, that's what I believe, what happens after you die. But on the other hand, this so-called assisted dying is open to abuse. I really think it could be very dangerous, because when people are in a bad state of mind or in a bad state of health, they're very vulnerable. And sad to say, not everyone in the world is a nice, good person. That has to be accepted. And so therefore, I think, unfortunately, you have to legislate for the bad things in the world, not just hope for the best with the good things in the world. If everyone was good, then assisted dying would be okay. But unfortunately, that's not true. And so I've had to come down, although I repeat, I think people are entitled to draw a line and end their life if that's what they feel they need to do. And I also believe that if you love someone who wants to do that, perhaps because they're in pain, or perhaps because they just feel they've come to the end, then I would support your right to do that. But I wouldn't make it legal. I think if you've done that, if the law falls down on you, well, I'm sorry, that's the way it has to be to protect the innocent. So anyway, I'm just going to have a look and see if anybody's made any comments on this. Oh yes, somebody says, what about terminal illnesses? Well, if a terminal illness is truly terminal, then of course you're on your way out. I mean, I've told my family that if I'm in hospital on the only thing that's keeping me alive is a breathing machine, then feel free to turn me off. But you're not talking about terminal illness, you're talking about terminal pain. And I think that's a very difficult one. If my wife, who has Parkinson's, but she's very frail, but she's very active as well, politically and in every other sense, and she has a bonny voice to sing. She's an artist, and her hands are trembling now, so she can't really do any more artwork, which is a pity, because she's a very talented lady. But if she was in great pain day in, day out, and she wanted me to end her life, I have to say I would do it. And then I would have to take the consequences, because that's what we have to do in life. We have to pay the consequences of what we do. even if what we're doing is what we think is the right thing. So that's my thoughts. I'll just recap. People have the right to end their life. I know in the old days in Britain it used to be a criminal offence to attempt suicide. And of course the church was against it for many years, and I can appreciate that. Because we have to think about the people we're leaving behind. If we want to leave our life just because we're fed up, then I think it's not really good enough. But if we're in pain, or really for any good reason we want to end our life, then I think we should be allowed to do that. And I think the people we love, I hope they would help me to do that. But I'm 84, you know, and I'm having a wonderful life. I tried to kill myself about 15 years ago because I felt my life was unravelling. And a person I loved very deeply, I said to her, obviously I was successful. Now my wife is coming in the car. Now I'm going to point this camera at her while she comes in so you can see the person she is. I'm talking on the internet. But anyway, I'm going to just, there she is, she's getting in the car. Of course I can't see what you're seeing because the phone is pointing towards her. Anyway, I'm coming back to me now. So now she's back here. I'm going to say goodbye, but just to recap, you have the right to kill yourself if you feel that's what you need to do. But do remember there are people who love you, and perhaps you need to continue living for their sake. But if you've made that decision, then I think you have the right to do that. And if somebody you love has made that decision and they need your help, then I think you should do that if that's what you feel. But on the other hand, I think assisted dying is very dangerous, and I'm opposed to making it a legal possibility. So I'm going to say goodbye now. Bye.